Like, Russell Wilson, even after the Legion of Boom dominant days, was a fantastic quarterback in Seattle. Like, if Russell Wilson's career ended right at the Seattle era, like right at that was his final year, and the last 4 or 5 years didn't count, you could argue he's a Hall of Famer. Like, I think like 9, 10-time pro, like great years. Like, he was really good. When Marshawn Lynch went down or left, remember like the Russell Wilson, Doug Baldwin connection? They were fantastic. Like, he was great. But it's not the fact that he left Seattle and he went elsewhere and it just didn't work. It's the fact that that was kind of forced in Seattle. Like, you got the impression that they probably could have made things work and there probably could have been a future there with Russell Wilson. And then all of a sudden, remember that report came out? Russell Wilson had 4 teams he wanted to go to: the Giants, the Saints, the Bears, the Raiders, and all these conversations about, and then he gets to Seattle, he gets the deal, and then they get there and the first game is against the Seahawks and you got the Nathaniel Hackett disaster. And you got all these different things that have happened since. Like Pittsburgh and the Giants. All of it just hasn't gone well. And so I know that people want to push back on Richard Sherman, and I guess rightfully so from the standpoint that he's trying to elevate his time while taking a shot at Russell Wilson. But he's not wrong, man. Post-Seattle, it hasn't gone well. And he was one of the reasons why he's not in Seattle. Like, he made a choice, I would be better elsewhere. And he's been significantly worse. All of that should be on the table, and all of that is fair to discuss. All of it. But people just want to look at Richard and it's like, oh, well, how could you do that? Do you say, it's like RG3 saying, do you say the same thing about Eli Manning? It's like, well, no, they don't say the same thing about Eli Manning because Eli Manning didn't willingly want out of the Giants and say, I could go be better elsewhere. Russell Wilson did. And then he went elsewhere and it was a mess. And you heard all these stories about how
Number 1 on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. WINC AM Miami, WMIB FM HD2 Fort Lauderdale. Free never sounded so good.
1-1. He might have hit one out of the ballpark there. Out to right and deep. Second deck. He squared the bunt 2 pitches ago. And Kyle Stowers rips number 16 into the seats. Tied at 1, bottom 2.
Miami Marlins baseball is on deck.
Pitch to Connor Norby. He drills out to right center and deep. Frelick back. Track wall. It is gone. Connor Norby. He's getting right. 1-1 pitch. That one hammered out to left center field and deep. Martian Rojas back. They're looking up, and it's gone. Wag attack. A 2-run homer.
Marlins on deck. Brought to you by ADT, the official smart security partner of the Miami Marlins and Norwegian Cruise Line. Experience more at sea. Let's head out to the ballpark. Here's your host, Steven Strong.
Nice job, Ahmed. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're live from Lone Depot Park in Miami on the final Saturday home game of 2025, and you're listening to Miami Marlins baseball on the radio. Fox Sports 940 Miami, game 161 of 162. 2 games remain, and the Marlins are 1 win away in a Reds victory to sending the Mets home to Queens for the entirety of fall and winter. Last night, behind 7 strong from Sandy Alcantara and a 6-run 5th inning, the Marlins secured their 78th victory of the year. Miami can also win the first season series over the Mets for the first time since 2017 if they capture a W here today. It is game 2 of this 3-game NL East set between your 78 and 82 Miami Marlins and the 82 and 78 New York Mets. Clay Holmes, he's set to make his 31st start, but this won't be a traditional one. Holmes will go a set amount of innings or pitches before a desperate and deprived Mets bullpen will take over. We could see David Peterson. We could see Jonah Tong. We really don't know what it looks like after Clay Holmes for Carlos Mendoza's Mets. Yuri Perez, he takes ill. He just needs to secure 3 outs to have a longer outing than he did last time he faced the Mets in Queens. Perez will make his career high now 20th start of the season. Yuri made 19 in 2023 and, of course, missed the entire 2024 recovering from Tommy John surgery. We will get going at 4:10 per usual on this City Connect Saturday right here on the Marlins Radio Network. Hi, everyone. Thanks for making Marlins on Deck a part of your Saturday afternoon with Jack McMullen and Gabby Sanchez. I'm Steven Strom. We've got a little tearjerker show today. We're going to get to the emotions. We're going to get all to the feels today. We have a sensational program. We will go the distance, and we thank you for your participation as we set the stage for Game 2 between the Mets and the Marlins. Yes, we'll hear from Sandy Alcantara. He went 7 innings of 2-run ball against the Mets yesterday. He also was extremely emotional as he walked off for the final time in 2025. We'll hear from Sandy in a little bit. Xavier Edwards, he had another 3-hit game this month. He will join the program as well. We'll play the walk-off interview after the win yesterday. We'll get you the count with Holmes and Perez. Jack and Gabby will jump in for segment 4. Storylines, our Expo question today at Marlins Radio and Steve's guarantee to victory. So let's start with Sandy today. He got his 11th win of the season in his final start of 2025. But let's play the audio the moment Clayton McCullough takes the ball from Sandy, and then you can hear this 30,000 plus in attendance at Lone Depot Park stand up and give Sandy a round of applause, a whatever you want to call it, a gratification, and Sandy Alcantara then tipped his hat. But let's hear how it sounded last night on Marlins Radio.
He jogs out. He's going to take the ball from Sandy Alcantara. Runner at first is his.
He hasn't said anything yet, though. He was running. Okay, he is going to go get him.
Going to go take him. Knuckle bumps all around, and that will be it for Sandy Alcantara's 2025 season. What an interesting season it was, and what an amazing way to wrap it up. Sandy Alcantara gets a standing ovation, and he tips his cap to the crowd beyond the third base dugout.
7 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs. He had a stretch yesterday where we recorded 12 consecutive outs. Here was Sandy on what he felt like his 2025 season went.
I want to say not great for me, So because I have the high ERA, but that doesn't matter for me. I just want to be out there and be able to compete for my teammate and my team the way that I always been doing it. And, yeah, everybody feels happy because we take the win today.
So Sandy Alcantara, the ERA is 5.36. Again, he won 11 games this year for the Miami Marlins, but it's not how you start, folks. It's how you finish. Over his final 12 starts, a 3.13 ERA, going 6 or more in all but 2 outings for Sandy. And when Sandy walked into the press conference room last night, he was bloodshot in his eyes, which leads you to believe one thing. He was probably on the verge of tears. Here was Sandy on what was going through his mind while he was walking off and saluting this Marlins crowd.
A lot of emotion, so I was close to crying, like always. But yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen after Sunday. Just trying to take every special moment that I had with my teammates. But yeah, I play for the Marlins, so I'm not going to say this is my last start here in Marlins. But yeah, let's see what happens. So we got to get ready in the spring training and, try to win more games that we do this year.
So for Sandy Alcantara, again, came into the press conference room. It looked like he was crying. And if he wasn't, a couple of minutes later, his wife and his newborn daughter walked into the press conference room, and Sandy Alcantara looked up. He hesitated. He was in a state of shock, that this was actually happening. All of a sudden, Sandy gets up. He's holding his daughter at the press conference room. And then the Spanish journalist started to ask questions. And the first one was something along the lines of, what does your family mean to you? And there was probably a 10 to 12 second pause. And you know what that means? Sandy Alcantara began to emotionally cry. And he sat there. He looked up. He couldn't face us. He was looking at his daughter, looked back up to us, and started to explain what his family meant to him And none of it was possible without his wife, without his daughter, without his dad. It just started crediting all the family. So this was something that I've never seen before. I've been here since 23. It's not that long, but I've never seen, even with the Marlins having their child or their wife in a press conference room. It was really an intimate and special moment, and I credit Sandy Alcantara for how vulnerable he was. I also credit Sandy Alcantara for how good he was in the second half. Just to give you an idea, and we have hit on it, Sandy's resilience. In the first half of 2025, Sandy Alcantara was 4-9 with a 7.22 ERA over 18 starts. In the second half, he made 13 starts, 7-3 with a 3.33 ERA. He lowered that ERA 4 runs. Now, you could be a testament to how bad it was in the first half, or it's a testament to how much he has evolved, developed, and just has not let anything stop him in the way of finishing strong. Congratulations, Sandy Alcantara, for a really, that's a heck of a way to end your 2025 campaign. We'll keep the good vibes going here. Xavier Edwards collected a 3-hit game first in September 10th. He'll join the program next as he recaps what was just an awesome and electric victory over the Mets last night. Marlins on Deck continues. Stick with us on the Marlins Radio Network.
Step up to the foot traffic right now. First pitch to Heriberto Hernandez, line down the right field line, twisting towards the line. It is a fair ball into the corner in right field. Blake Lively going to send Troy. Relay throw coming home. It is on line. It is not in time. Head first dive. It's a 2-run triple for Heriberto Hernandez. Conine in for third. Troy all the way in from first base. And the Fish knocked this game up. We're tied at 2 in the home fifth.
And just like that, you are a ground ball pitcher.
Next pitch, that one a roller over to Alonso. He totally boots the ball. McNeil picks it up, underhand toss to Alonso at first. It kicked away from Pete, and Burt came in to score. He was off on contact there, and Alonso's defensive woes again shine bright for New York.
Way back, and all of a sudden, Augustin Ramirez was like, I can get there.
And X rolls one up the gut. That's thrown for a base hit. That's an Augustine run right there. He gets on with a single. He swipes second. He swipes third. And Xavier Edwards drives him in with an RBI knock. It's 4-2 Fish in the fifth.
How about?
He jogs out. He's going to take the ball from Sandy Alcantara. Runner at first is his.
He hasn't said anything yet, though. Usually when Clayton goes out there, one, he's not running.
He was running.
He was running. Okay, he is going to go get him.
Going to go take him. Knuckle bumps all around, and that will be it for Sandy Alcantara's 2025 season. What an interesting season it was, and what an amazing way to wrap it up. Sandy Alcantara gets a standing ovation, and he tips his cap to the crowd beyond the third base duck.
Call us now or visit wernerhoffman.com. Let's win this together.
Well, happy Saturday, everyone. Welcome into Marlins on Deck, live from Lone Depot Park as we get you ready for Game 2 of this 3-game set. Marlins, all they needed was 1 inning. They scored 6 in the 5th. They held on to beat the Mets 6-2. And the Mets could be eliminated from the postseason as soon as this evening with another loss to Miami and a Reds victory against the Brewers here tonight. Well, I guess I can still read this. Don't miss a moment of Marlins action. Download the iHeartRadio app, make Fox Sports 9 for the top preset, then listen to every Marlins game. You know, we only got 2 left here, but there's some good program going on. Will Altoff does a nice job with the Dolphins show. Still a lot of football season left, Dolphin Nation. You just never know. Okay, let's hear from Xavier Edwards, who had his first 3-hit game since September 10th. This was his second 3-hit game of the month. He's got that average back to 283. It's not 300, but here was X last night recapping that 6-2 victory over New York. Clayton told us today he talked to you guys. What was the message, X?
No, just kind of recapping on the season we've had thus far, and just kind of the work that we're going to continue to put in, and the work that's to come for next year. And yeah, that was really it. Just kind of thanking us, and we're thankful for him leading this group and the changes that we've had. We've done things in a different manner and things other teams might think is, for sure different, but we've embraced it, and I think we're proud of the season so far.
What does playing the role of spoiler look like?
Winning games. Winning games, it's the goal. It's always the goal when we come here. We want to win, and that's all it is. Tonight we did a good job. Looking to do it again tomorrow.
How did you see that fifth inning offensively develop?
I started with getting a leadoff guy on. I don't think we'd done that. Maybe one other time before that. Again, leadoff guy on, and strung a couple hits together and got base runners. And once we got traffic, I think the train never stopped.
How did you see Sandy tonight match the moment?
Great. He bounced back after a rough first inning. A couple hard hit balls for them. Leadoff homer and some extra base hits, and they scored a couple runs. But bounced back with seven shutty after that. Throw almost 8 innings for us, and it was great, man, to keep us in the game like that. Would have been easy to kind of pack it in last start of the year, and not the ideal start you want, but it took a lot out of him to dig deep and keep us in that game.
When he's coming off the field, do you feel that as a player when he tips his cap and you know what he means to this organization?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Honestly, I wish I could be that tall sometime, but it was pretty sick. He took his hat off, handed Clayton the ball, and walked off, and you look back, you see everyone clapping their hands. Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
All right, that was Xavier Edwards last night. And you look at the season that X has had, right? 2023, he came up as a minor leaguer, played 30 games, really didn't get a ton of run because of where the Marlins were at as far as postseason position. Last year, Tim Anderson was at shortstop, and until he was DFA'd, Xavier Edwards didn't get any runway. He only played 70 games. So this guy, in 2 years, in 23 and 24, combined for 100 games. This season, he's played in 137. He leads the Marlins in hits with 156. He leads the Marlins in multi-hit games with 43. And he leads the Marlins in stolen bases with 26. When you look at Xavier Edwards, it's another guy because he's just pretty much has, probably the most service time on this team from a positional standpoint, if not one of, that we just look at Xavier Edwards and be like, this was Xavier's first full season in the majors, and he has put together a really nice campaign. We had mentioned the 283 batting average, and to make matters even better, he has killed the New York Mets this year. 356, 16 for 45 with a double and 2 RBIs. He is back at the top of the lineup. We have seen him bat in different positions over the last couple of days. He's been in the 3 spot and the 6 spot. He is the table setter for Clayton McCullough's offense against Clay Holmes here today. We'll break. We'll get you at the count with Clay Holmes. Yuri Perez will make his final start and a career-high 20th for Yuri. 4:10 first pitch. Marlins Mets coming your way on the Marlins Radio Network.
There's some foot traffic right now. First pitch to Heriberto Hernandez. Line down the right field line. Twisting towards the line. It is a fair ball. Into the corner in right field. Blake Lively going to send Troy. Relay throw coming home. It is online. It is not in time. Head first dive. It's a 2-run triple for Heriberto Hernandez. Conine in for third. Troy all the way in from first base. And the Fish knocked this game up. We're tied at 2 in the home 5th.
And just like that, you are a ground ball pitcher.
Next pitch, that one a roller over to Alonso. He totally boots the ball. McNeil picks it up, underhand toss to Alonso at first. It kicked away from Pete, and Burt came in to score. He was off on contact there, and Alonso's defensive woes again shine bright for New York.
Way back, and all of a sudden, Augustin Ramirez was like, I can get there.
And X rolls one up the gut. That's thrown for a base hit. That's an Augustine run right there. He gets on with a single. He swipes second. He swipes third. And Xavier Edwards drives him in with an RBI knock. It's 4-2 Fish in the 5th.
How about?
He jogs out. He's going to take the ball from Sandy Alcantara. Runner at first is his.
He hasn't said anything yet, though. Usually when Clayton goes out there, one, he's not running.
He was running.
He was running. Okay, he is going to go get him.
Going to go take knuckle bumps all around, and that will be it for Sandy Alcantara's 2025 season. What an interesting season it was, and what an amazing way to wrap it up. Sandy Alcantara gets a standing ovation, and he tips his cap to the crowd beyond the third base duck.
5 September and earn October. The Chase is on MLB Network, the home of Penn and Chase Baseball.
Hey, this is Andrew Nardi, and you're listening to Marlins on Deck with Steven Strom on the Marlins Radio Network.
If you couldn't feel any better about coming into this game on Saturday after what we saw the Marlins do and what we've seen the Marlins do the last month, Miami's 18-9 on Saturdays. 18-9, looking to be 19-9. And who doesn't like Saturday? I mean, that's like when you're in school, you have the Friday night, you got to go to school Friday. You have the Friday night, you can sleep in the next day. Saturdays are the best, and the Marlins have made Saturdays even better, going 18-9. Steven Strom here, Gabby Sanchez, and Jack McMullen. I guess in segment 4, we'll discuss the best weekend. But we'll start here with Clay Holmes, who will take the ball for the New York Mets. 32-year-old right-hander will make his 31st start of 2025. Do I call it a start? Do I call it an open? I guess we'll find out together. 11-8, a 3.66 ERA, 159 and 2/3. I mean, you look at the ERA, like, 3.6. Okay, this guy was a reliever with the Yanks last year. It's a nice year. 127 punch-outs to 63 walks. The problem is Clay Holmes has not been able to get deep into games, so Carlos Mendoza has been forced to shuffle not only Holmes but also Manaea. Holmes has been working in tandem with Sean Manaea during this month. He threw 1 inning of relief on Wednesday, but before that, Holmes tossed 3 2/3, 4 2/3 of relief. His last start was on September 10th. And again, I mentioned this to you guys. I really don't know which reliever we're going to see. We might see Jonah Tong, who started a couple days ago against the Cubs. We're probably going to see Sean Manaea. I mean, the Mets are in desperate. They have to win these games. So they're going to throw the kitchen sink at us. So we will see how the Marlins are able to react. Again, Clay Holmes will get the start, but it's still TBD on how many pitches and how many innings he will get. Well, heck, we could see David Peterson as well. Yuri Perez, 22-year-old right-hander, will make his 20th start. That's a new milestone for him. It's a career high. He made 19 and 23 when he got called up at 20 years old, missed the entire 2024 season with Tommy John. So another, again, you can look at these names across the Miami Marlins roster, and you could say, check successful season. Check Kyle Stowers, check Augustine Ramirez, check Jansen Junk. The list goes on, Xavier Edwards. So for Yuri Perez, if he collects 3 outs today, it'll be a better start than what he saw in Queens against the Mets back in August. He only collected 2 outs. It was one of the worst starts of the season and worst start maybe of his career. He gave up 5 runs in that outing against the New York Mets. Again, just recorded 2 outs. He's 7-5 with a 4.20 ERA, 90 innings pitched. He will need 5 outs to collect a new career high in that category as far as frames are concerned. 94 Ks to 29 walks. He didn't factor in his last start on Sunday in Texas. He tossed 4 scoreless, and he punched out 9, which was a season high. He retired the last 10, 88 pitches. So the thing for Yuri, I'll compensate on the punchies to get a little bit more deeper into the game. And that was the problem with Yuri. Bunch of foul balls. And look, you love the punch-outs, but the punch-outs, what do? They completely ballooned that pitch count. And that's why Yuri was only able to go 4 innings over 88 pitches. Clay Holmes, Yuri Perez, they will feature our matchup on the mound on this final game on this Saturday afternoon from Lone Depot Park. The City Connect jerseys, they look fire per usual. We'll break here. We'll get Gabby and Jack on next. We have some storylines. We'll talk Sandy. We'll talk what to expect from Yuri and how the Marlins can end the Mets season here on this Saturday afternoon. Marlins on Deck continues on the Marlins Radio Network.
There's some foot traffic right now. First pitch to Heriberto Hernandez, line down the right field line, twisting towards the line. It is a fair ball into the corner in right field. Blake Lively going to send Troy. Relay throw coming home. It is on line. It is not in time. Head first dive. It's a 2-run triple for Heriberto Hernandez. Conine in for third. Troy all the way in from first base. And the Fish knocked this game up. We're tied at 2 in the home 5th.
And just like that, you are a ground ball pitcher.
Next pitch, that one a roller over to Alonso. He totally boots the ball. McNeil picks it up, underhand toss to Alonso at first. It kicked away from Pete, and Burt came in to score. He was off on contact there, and Alonso's defensive woes again shine bright for New York.
Way back, and all of a sudden, Augustine Ramirez was like, I can get there.
And X rolls one up the gut. That's thrown for a base hit. That's an Augustine run right there. He gets on with a single. He swipes second. He swipes third. And Xavier Edwards drives him in with an RBI knock. It's 4-2 Fish in the 5th.
How about?
He jogs out. He's going to take the ball from Sandy Alcantara. Runner at first is his.
He hasn't said anything yet, though. Usually when Clayton goes out there, one, he's not running.
He was running.
He was running. Okay, he is going to go get him.
Going to take knuckle bumps all around, and that will be it for Sandy Alcantara's 2025 season. What an interesting season it was, and what an amazing way to wrap it up. Sandy Alcantara gets a standing ovation, and he tips his cap to the crowd beyond the third base duck.
Loctite Impact now at 954-500-LOCK. That's 954-500-LOCK, or visit LoctiteImpact.com.
Well, the Marlins are looking to win their first season series